Thanks for tuning in, guys. LaRosa Gamer Prodigy here to talk about Microsoft's newly announced console, the Xbox One. Now, like some crazy person, I actually woke up at 3 AM this morning to watch the conference. And I thought I'd make a quick video just summarizing all the news, as well as giving my personal opinion on the overall experience. Ever since the PlayStation 4 reveal earlier this year on February 20th, gamers have been waiting to see what Microsoft would do next. Finally, Microsoft has announced the Xbox One. Now, this console has had many rumored names such as the Xbox Fusion and Xbox Infinity, but personally, I don't like any of those names. I would rather the console be simply the Xbox, similar to what Apple does with their iPads. Instead, we have the Xbox One. Now, this has left a lot of people confused. What does the One represent? Personally, I think the One is not actually a number, but represents an idea. One can mean that Microsoft wants to start fresh with the Xbox and bring it into the next generation. The One can also represent that the Xbox is the one device you'll need in your living room. But we're just going to have to wait till E3 until Microsoft announce any further news. Now, I did have some issues with the overall press conference, but we'll get onto that later. So they did start by showing the Kinect 2 and how that's actually integrated into the next Xbox. Through voice recognition and hand gestures. So with the hand gestures, you can actually, move through the home page, open up tabs, close tabs, things like that. And that was actually pretty interesting. There was no lag, so that seems pretty cool. The voice recognition is back, so obviously Xbox on turns the console on. And they showed, I don't think they showed all that this can do, obviously, but it was a good introduction. They did focus a lot on the TV aspects of it, so they basically went into detail on how, TV these days is so confusing with all these remotes. So basically by naming the channel, the Xbox will automatically move on to the channel. So it seems they were correct in saying that the Xbox One is the center of your living room. So you will be using it for more than just games. You can use it for TV, you can download movies, you can download games, you can go on the internet, you can use Skype. They had this little segment on how the Kinect 2 is the 1080p camera, is the highest quality way to use Skype. And that was pretty cool. I mean, some issues I did have is that they didn't really show much first-party games. Unlike the PlayStation reveal event, where they didn't show everything. I wasn't expecting Microsoft to just, here's everything, what do you think? Obviously, Sony is holding back since they do have so many first-party developers. But they showed, Infamous Second Son, Killzone, Drive Club. Now, obviously, Microsoft doesn't have that many first-party developers to compete with Sony. They did show the new Forza, which did look impressive, but obviously that wasn't gameplay. And I think that's what this press conference needed overall. It needed something big, a huge announcement, maybe a new IP. Microsoft did say they had 15 new Xbox exclusive titles in the making. Obviously, they're not going to show all of them. They did say 8 of them would be new IP, so it is pretty interesting to see what Microsoft is going to do next. We're ghosts. Now, it's quite interesting to see the changing dynamics between the three heavy hitters, being Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. In my opinion, I've never seen the companies so far apart. They seem to be all going in different directions. Nintendo seem to be on their own little private island, and we don't quite know what they're doing at the moment, but that is a story for another day. Microsoft, on the other hand, seem to be focusing in on the mainstream market, and this could work out profitable for them. The Xbox One could really be the center of your living room, and this could be backed up through their services. Sony, on the other hand, have come out and said the PlayStation 4 will be the gamers' console, and once again, they can back themselves up through their strong first-party presence. One major issue I did have with this press conference is that Microsoft seemed to be relying a lot on EA and Activision. EA came out and showed their new engine, as well as some FIFA clips and Madden and UFC, and Activision obviously came out and showed the next Call of Duty and talked about that. I just think that Microsoft obviously know they don't have that much of a strong first-party presence. Now, we all know that these games aren't Xbox exclusives. They will be coming to the PlayStation 4. Who knows about the Wii U? But obviously that Microsoft might have some extra bonuses, some DLC or some sort. But these aren't Xbox exclusives. That's not what we came to see. Microsoft always seemed to be relying on Activision to kind of boost their Xbox presence. That Call of Duty is always associated with Xbox. Now, this is a great marketing scheme, but for gamers, it's like we've seen this before. Show us something different. They did show Forza, But obviously that wasn't gameplay. That's again not what we wanted to see. Like with the PlayStation 4 event, I'm sorry if I keep comparing it back to that, but they are direct rivals. You know, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This is it. They did show Killzone gameplay. Sure, they didn't show, you know, the next Uncharted, the next God of War, but they showed gameplay. And Microsoft seems to be saying, look at this video. It's pretty. We'll show you more later. Obviously, they don't want to give everything away, but this was kind of a letdown. Now, the one thing that Microsoft did that Sony didn't was actually show the console. We have, at this moment, at this time of recording, we have not seen the PlayStation 4. We have seen a little teaser trailer that showed, you know, little murky images of, you know, the corner of the console, but we actually haven't seen the full thing. Xbox has come out and said, here is the Xbox One, everyone. You know, we all cheered in our own little way, but I quite actually like the design of this console. It's very sleek. They basically said that the console size will be similar to the original Xbox 360 when it launched. And I must say, I really do dig the design. The controller, they said they have made some modifications. Like, they have fixed the D-pad, and they've added some sort of rumble feature in the triggers. So depending on which game you play, like, say you're playing Call of Duty, and you shoot a bullet, you know, the trigger will vibrate. Once again, cool. I like to see this in action. Obviously, they'll show us more at E3. Now, I won't get into too much detail about the specs of the console, but basically it has an 8-core AMD CPU, as well as 8GB of RAM, in which 5 will be used for games, a Blu-ray player, 500GB hard drive, as well as 3.0 USBs, Ethernet output, as well as Wi-Fi Direct, and a HDMI cable, which can run up to 1080p and also 4K video playback. Now, obviously, the next Xbox isn't backwards compatible, same as the PlayStation 4, but Microsoft do have the cloud servers, just as PlayStation has Gaikai. Now, that might see some integration between old Xbox games and new, but, you know, they will announce that later on, so this is not confirmed as of yet. One thing they did seem to not mention is that the Kinect needs to be connected with the Xbox One for it to function, so it has to always be connected. Too bad if you just want to leave the camera in the box and never use it. It needs to in fact be connected. We were also shown a trailer for the live action Halo series, which does look pretty interesting. It does have Steven Spielberg tied into it, but you know, who knows how much input he actually has into it. Once again, we'll find out later. As well as a trailer for a game called Quantum Break. Now, the trailer does look pretty interesting. Obviously, it doesn't give away too much. And once again, we'll have to wait till E3 or further announcements from the developer. So that's basically it, guys. Comment below and tell me how you felt about the conference in comparison to the PlayStation 4 event. For me, it was a strong 6.5 out of 10. They showed the hardware and some of its features, but what was missing was the games. Like, personally for me, I woke up at 3 AM to watch this, and in America it would have been 10 AM yesterday. So the people that watched this were hardcore gamers. You know, they missed work and school and streamed it while they're at uni. You know, they needed to show the games, and they didn't. Obviously, more will be shown at E3, and I cannot wait to see what Sony and Microsoft do next. Obviously, Nintendo is not holding a press conference. Once again, story for another time. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, like my Facebook page, The Gaming Nation. I'll put a link in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.